Also AMFM247.com on the Twitch live stream as well, JiggyJaguar.com. And we have Jaybird Wells back in the saddle with us today, and we are getting things going with our first guest here on iHeartRadio. Go ahead and give us a brief introduction on yourself, my friend. Tell us where we can find you, all these different things.
What's up? Well, my name is, as you said, Jake Ward. I am the frontman of a project called Watch Me Breathe. And I always tell people the best place to start is probably just our website. You just go to watchmebreathe.com, and that kind of serves as a hub for everything else. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
So how did you get started doing this music thing?
Well, I think music in general has just been something I've always done. You know, I'm one of those people that's just like, you know, when I was a little kid, I was banging on stuff around the house, and so my parents are like, well, we better get him a drum kit or something, you know, make this purposeful somehow. But this project was originally just kind of a side solo project I was doing, just because I had these songs that I felt like I needed to get out, and I have my own studio, and I could just spend a bunch of spare time working on them. And it just kind of kept growing. I kept getting more excited about it and feeling like there was something to it. And I kind of rebranded it as a band. And we released our first album in February of 2018, and then have been going in that direction ever since.
Is your Facebook page Watch Me Breathe?
Your Facebook page, social media. How do we find you there, my friend?
Well, it's all under Watch Me Breathe Band. Again, I think probably the easiest way is to just go through the website, because there's little buttons that go to all of it. But I think Facebook.com/WatchMeBreatheBand or Instagram.com/WatchMeBreatheBand. I think all of that should go there.
Did find you.
Fantastic. So, with your music and everything you've been involved in, what exactly do you have as far as goals for the new year, things like this?
Well, a big thing that I'm really amped about doing is touring, and I have a couple of different people that I've been talking to about trying to set that up. Probably only regional stuff at this point. We're based in Central California, and so we'd probably do something on the West Coast. Maybe going to the south a little bit, towards Texas kind of direction. But that's a big goal for sure, because we haven't done that yet, and I think I've been really picky about waiting until it really makes sense and we really feel like we've got the numbers and the following to pull it off. I would say that's goal number one, and then other than that, just continuing what we've been doing, and we've got a third album in the works that we've already released one single from this month called Garden of Eden, and then there will be more coming in the new year.
Watch Me Breathe with us today. Jake Ward with us here on iHeartRadio. So, what's been social media reaction, your reaction to your music? Talk to us about the feedback and things you've gotten.
Well, I would say it's mostly positive. There's always a healthy amount of haters as well, which I kind of like, because I feel like it's validating. But I would say mostly the feedback has been really positive. I think we get this consistent message a lot from people that they're like, you know, you guys are really underrated. Like, I hope you get a lot further than where you are now. Which is awesome. I mean, it kind of restores motivation, you know, to hear that. It makes it all worth it.
You did a live outdoor recording. Did you have any animals respond to the music?
Yes.
Say again? I'm sorry.
Okay.
My mic's not on all the way. Maybe now you can hear me.
Do you got her now, Jake?
Just barely, yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
Hey,
we'll
let's listen to this
work
song.
on it. You may have to You may have to move over to the other mic. We've got Jaguar with us today. Watch Me Breathe. He's with us here on our big program, coast to coast, border to border on iHeartRadio. Also, AMFM247.com. We're going to try this again. Jay,
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us now there, Jake?
Sounds about the same, but if I just listen really close, I think I'll be able to get
All right, Jake.
It
there
was
you are.
just a cute little question about when you were recording in the outdoors for your music video. Did you have any animals that responded to your music and came up to you and watched you or anything like that? Or did you scare them all away?
I must have scared them all away because I don't really remember seeing any animals. You know what I did see though, which I liked, was that. So we shot that in an area where there are a lot of redwood trees, and like it's this very popular tourism spot for, there'd be all kinds of people walking around taking pictures and stuff because it's like this really famous area of the woods, kind of near where we live, and there were all kinds of people that thought it was really weird that I was there, like just sitting up on this weird haphazard branch and like singing into a mic, and we had the film crew and stuff too. So I would say the main animals that we saw were human animals, and they were mostly just confused.
I take it there was no cords attached or anything. You just filmed it into the mic without any electricity?
Well, it's a good question actually, because I kind of had to figure out. I have this little USB interface that I'll actually use for some of our live shows, and I was able to, with that and with a laptop, have a completely portable recording setup that actually works, because I could plug the mic into the interface, and then it only has one other input, but I could plug the guitar into that and record it into my laptop, and didn't need any. I mean, there's electricity involved in that, but I didn't need a power outlet, which is cool.
The advances of technology we have today.
Seriously, it's pretty amazing.
If you could find what other kinds of shots and backgrounds that are you going to look forward to this next year? Places you want to record?
Sorry, say again. You're asking about shots, it sounded like.
Yes. Places to record, venues, things like this.
Oh, like could you use that for other places?
No. We've got Jake Ward with us today, and I think his phone's having some issues because he's not hearing anything we're saying. Let's do this. I'm gonna play one of your songs. I'm gonna hang up with you, and we are gonna try to get you on Skype. So I'm gonna call your phone number from our Skype account, so maybe we can hear you a little bit better. Here's Watch Me Breathe, Here and Now. It's Jake Ward, and it's on the big broadcast.
Been telling you since you were 15, you'll never amount to anything. You best just give up and follow our lead. No time for dreams or silly things, but you're still dreaming. I see you dreaming. Ooh, you can't stop now. So hear all these whispers and drown 'em out. Drown 'em out, saying life is out there waiting. But drown 'em out. Drown 'em out. Life is here and now. I'm telling you to just stop listening. Their expertise ain't what it seems. You can't spend your whole life preparing. You can't spend your time just following, 'cause you're still dreaming. I see you dreaming. Ooh, you can't stop now. So hear all these whispers and drown them out, saying life is out there waiting, but drown it out, drown it out. Your life is here and now. So tell me what it is you're waiting for. Just stand up and walk out the open door. And ooh, you give a little more. Ooh, you give a little more. Ooh, you give a little more than you ever had before. And hear all these whispers and drown them out, saying life is out there waiting, but drown it out, drown it out. Your life is here and now.
Okay, let's try this again and see if we can
More.
get him
I
back
want
with
more.
us here.
Skip the Skype sound.
Hello?
Hello. Okay, now can you hear us any better, my friend? We called you on Skype.
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Jay, go ahead and ask him a question. We'll see if he can hear us.
I'm too busy whining because the song ended. Go back to his music.
So review us. Talk to us about this track we just heard. It was filmed outside. It was a heck of a deal. Talk to us about the production process and everything involved with this.
Oh man, well that's a lot. I would say you're talking about Garden of Eden, right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The song we just heard. Yes, Garden of Eden. Tell us all about it.
Yeah. That is, well, I think that's one of those ones that just kind of came together like unexpectedly. We were jamming in the studio, and I think ideas a lot of times happen that way. I tend to throw stuff around and see if things stick, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. That was one where I started seeing the whole picture emerging really clearly and having ideas about lyrics and melody and just getting really excited about it. And so it wasn't really planned. It wasn't really something that I had been working on for a long time at all. And it just, within, 1 or 2 sessions, it just turned into a full song. And it has some things that are unusual for me as a writer, like a big tempo change towards the end. And I explored some different themes lyrically than I've done in the past. In general, it was just kind of a refreshing and interesting adventure for me as a composer.
It made this Big Mouth Woody Broad shut up. I mean, it was amazing. I give it a 5 cup of tea out of 5. I could stand listening to it on the radio. I would listen to it over and over again.
That's awesome to hear. Thank you.
We have got a great guest with us today. Jake joins us here in our big program. So, when did you start doing music? When was the fascination of music?
Man, I mean, I think just the core fascination with music is something I've always had, at least for as long as I can remember. It's one of those things where I think my parents had to kind of facilitate it and be like, okay, here's a drum kit, so you hit this instead of, the furniture or the silverware.
Pots and pans, bro, right?
Yeah. But yeah. So I mean, I've played in different bands. I've done different things. I work as a producer too. So this particular project we've been doing for I think about 2 years now. But in terms of just the core fascination, that's been a constant.
You have two more members in your band, correct?
Yeah, yeah. So my younger brother Carl plays drums, and then my friend Ryan Green, who's also well, I guess they're both actually solo artists and work on their own projects as well. But Ryan Green, who's a musician that I've known for years now, is the bassist. We just play as a power trio.
Fantastic. Go ahead, Jay.
I was just going to say, so you guys all just kind of felt the same spirit into doing the same thing, or what is it that brought you guys together for this project and this style of music?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I think it's mostly just that I needed people to play live, because I pretty much do everything myself as far as the recordings are concerned, and as far as the whole studio aspect of it goes. But I mean, Carl was an obvious choice because he's a really good drummer and he's my brother. So, I've kind of always figured if I need a drummer, I have him. And then we actually tried a few different bassists, and it ended up being that Ryan was the best choice, not just in terms of his musicianship, but also just he gets along with us really well. We're really good friends, both in and outside of music, just as people. So the three of us are a really good team, and to me that's one of the most important things.
So you're multi-talented. You were playing the guitar and the drums?
Yeah, in a way. I mean, I program the drums using something called Superior Drummer, which a lot of people that have recorded will probably know what that is. But I do play drums and I write the drum parts using a drum kit. But I find it's a lot easier to program them, and I can get better results that way just with my setup.
Did you ever take any college courses or anything like that to help you understand music better?
No, I never have. I did one thing right as I was about to graduate high school. I was thinking about going to a trade school for music production, and I did this like summer camp type thing.
Sweet.
That was a week long, but that's about it.
But you obviously learned a lot because, I mean, you're doing good.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in experimentation. I think, and that even if you go to like a trade school, I think the most valuable thing you're going to get is just the ability to use the equipment and learn through doing. I guess everybody has different ways of learning things, but I think for me certainly, and I would wager a guess that for most artistic like musician types, that learning through actually doing something and trying it yourself is often the most long-lasting, effective way to learn something.
Your influences says that you liked Goo Goo Dolls and Paramore, Jimmy Eat World. I don't think I've ever heard of that one. Switchfoot, John Mayer. Is that all of you guys' influences, or just do you guys all share those same influences?
Honestly, not really. I think Carl and I, because we've grown up together, have a lot of the same influences. Like, I know Switchfoot is a big influence for both of us, but that list is really my list of influences, and I think there are certainly ways that Carl is influenced and exposed to other stuff that I haven't been as much, and Ryan has a whole different list of stuff. There are commonalities with him too. Like he's also a really big John Mayer fan and grew up listening to him, but Ryan is really all about like the Beatles and loves indie, real indie rock stuff that's coming out today. Like he's, or somebody was just showing me the other day whose name I can't remember now, but that, you know, there's a whole genre of like kind of underground indie stuff that he's really into that I just never listened to. But you know, that can be a good thing, right? Because I think we all have commonalities laced with differences, and it can kind of, you know. But again, I'm really doing the songwriting anyway, so it's frankly not a super collaborative project.
You're the prince. It's your way or the highway, bro.
Yeah.
The song definitely put me on the beach and made me feel like I was listening to the Beatles, so that was pretty cool. I'm glad you made that commonality, because I was trying to figure out what I was thinking, and you just took the words right out of my mouth.
Well, thanks.
So, what are some of your plans coming up in the new year as far as touring, things of this?
Well, touring is definitely the biggest one. I think I've just been really picky about waiting until it's the right time and it really makes feasible sense. But I've already been talking with friends and people that run booking agencies and stuff like that about setting stuff up for 2020. So I would say that's goal number one. And then beyond that, we're working on a new album, and this single that you guys just played is the first off the many that will come for that third album. So that's the other main goal.
We have got a great guest with us today. Joins us live here in our broadcast. WatchMeBreathe.com is the official website. So, Watch Me Breathe. Tell me about this name.
Yes.
Well, I sort of have this weird philosophy with like band names that I feel like as long as it's not taken and it's easy to remember and it sounds kind of like the right thing, that's kind of the most important. Those are the most important things to mark off the checklist. But there is kind of a weird story about how I got it, which is I was watching this interview of John Cleese, who's from Monty Python. You may or may not know, but he is pretty old now. He's like in his 70s, and there was something somehow in an interview that he was doing in front of a live audience, he got to this point where he kind of offhand mentioned that he had just turned, let's say, 75. I don't remember if it was specifically 75, but it was something like that. And the crowd started applauding and, yay, you know, congratulations. And he basically was making fun of them for how weird that is to do, to be like, yeah, congratulations on.
Uh-oh. Where did you go, Jake?
Well, we lost him. Okay, well,
He was just getting good.
We're gonna try to get him back. God, what a mess! It is the it's the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast here on iHeartRadio. We are gonna try to get him back with us and see if we can.
Too bad we couldn't play his music instead of listening to the Skype. Do.
Okay, we are gonna try to get him back in here. Let's see if
he's got an awesome following on Facebook.
See if he maybe. Okay.
He's got 5,000 likes on his fan page. Watch Me Breathe the band.
We'll see if.
Hello again.
Okay, we lost you again. Go ahead and pick up where you left off there, my man.
What was the last thing you heard?
You were talking about John Cleese. You'd seen him speak somewhere, like a Comic-Con or something, and you were just getting ready to get into the story. So finish the story here.
Okay, well, the story is that he basically mentioned, it wasn't even the subject of what he was talking about, but for whatever reason, I don't remember why, he mentioned that he had just turned like 74 or 75, and as you would kind of expect, the audience started applauding, kind of politely, be like, congratulations. And he did this kind of unexpected thing that I really liked, where he just made fun of them for how strange congratulations that actually is, to be basically saying, congratulations on not being dead. You've made it this far, and like, look at you being alive. And sort of the way he communicated that, or part of the way he communicated that, was he said, watch me breathe, watch me breathe. Yes, isn't it amazing? And it was just one of those things that stuck with me. And what I said before is like, it wasn't taken as a band name, so I thought that was good enough. I liked it.
Fantastic. And Watch Me Breathe with us today here in our broadcast. So what exactly do you guys do from here? You've got this music video out there. You've talked about touring. What?
Got a couple of albums coming out.
Yeah.
Singles coming out. Are you're gonna do more music videos? Are you planning
definitely.
on doing anything else besides music?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I mean, I think outside of the obvious continuation of what we've been doing, I think in more of kind of a big picture sense, I just look at this whole project as kind of a challenge to do what I really believe in all the time. And I think that has a particularly kind of open-ended nature to it. So there are all kinds of things. I thought, like, I'm super into magic, and I love performing magic, just kind of as an amateur magician. And I would love to figure out a way to incorporate that into this project somehow.
Yes.
I just haven't figured out how.
I agree.
Yeah, thank you. So that would be one thing. I am interested in all kinds of other things, like, video production and philosophy and writing. And so, I mean, and I feel like the whole idea of the band is just kind of writing from the heart and being honest about what's genuinely exciting and interesting to me and what I really have to say. So I think in just a broad sense, like, I just want to pursue whatever is honest, if that makes sense.
So basically, I can foresee you doing a music video with basically the song "Now You See Me, Now You Don't," and it's a magician show. Yeah.
Maybe something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Fantastic. Well, we've got our next guest. We've got to get to them, but I appreciate you making time for us today. Thanks for coming on our big program, my friend.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate it. Well, we'll talk to you soon. There he goes. And Jake from Watch Me Breathe. We're going to...
Not Jake from State Farm, but Jake from Watch Me Breathe.
That's awesome.